Our common agenda calls for urgent action against pandemics, climate change. The United Nations is calling on all countries to make an urgent choice between breakdown and breakthrough, as the world would soon emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic that has killed over 4.5 million people in less than 2 years. It said urgent action should be taken also to counter climate change that is causing flooding, deadly wildfires and threatening human existence. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres issued our common agenda before the 76th UN General Assembly session is to open on September 14th. Leaders of the 193 countries will address the world's situation virtually for the second year in a row, while COVID-19 and Delta variant are constraining travels and in-person meetings.
The pandemic has demonstrated our collective failure to come together and make joint decisions for the common good, even in the face of an immediate life-threatening global emergency. This paralysis extends far beyond COVID-19. From the climate crisis to our suicidal war on nature and the collapse of biodiversity, our global response has been too little, too late. Unchecked inequality is undermining social cohesion, creating fragilities that affect us all. One message runs throughout our consultations: our world needs more and better multilateralism based on deeper solidarity to deal with the crisis we face and to reverse today's dangerous trends. There was broad recognition that we are at a pivotal moment. Business as usual could result in breakdown of the global order into a world of perpetual crisis and winner takes all. Or we could decide to change course, involving a breakthrough to a greener, better, safer future for all. This report represents my vision in your contributions for a path towards the breakthrough scenario. Our common agenda is above all an agenda of action designed to strengthen and accelerate multilateral cooperation, particularly around the 2030 agenda, and make a tangible difference to people's lives.
The UN chief called for a global summit for the future in 2023 to be attended by heads of state and government to discuss the common agenda. Our common agenda calls for urgent and bold steps to address the triple crises of climate disruption, biodiversity loss and pollution destroying the planet. It calls for renewing the social contract between governments and their people and within societies, so as to rebuild trust and embrace a comprehensive vision of human rights. It calls for equal participation of women and girls, without whom no meaningful social contract is possible. It calls for updating governance arrangements to deliver better public goods and usher in a new era of universal social protection, health coverage, education, skills, decent work and housing, as well as universal access to the Internet by 2030 as a basic human right. It calls for ending the infodemic or misinformation campaigns, and for defending a common, empirically backed consensus around facts, science and knowledge. It said the war on science must end and all policy and budget decisions should be backed by science and expertise. It calls for correcting measures used in past decades to gauge gross domestic product, GDP, by including human and business activities that resulted in the destruction of the environment.
Stay up to date with the latest news on the United Nations and the world. Make sure to subscribe to this Facebook account by clicking the button above this video. See you next time.